What's up, guys? Matt Brown here for thelines.com. Let's talk some Thursday night football. Bucks and the Falcons. Got us an NFC South battle here. A few bets in the account as well. Of course, everything we do absolutely free. So go ahead, click that subscribe button down below and give us a thumbs up. It doesn't hurt you. Just go ahead and click it. Appreciate it. Let's see what we got. We got about 1.5 is where we are sitting right now in favor of the Falcons at home in this one on a short week. 43.5. This got bet down from 44 yesterday. A lot of under plays released, a lot of under money coming in. So the under now, kind of the popular play, 43.5, where we're sitting right now in this thing. So if we look at what these teams are coming in with, we will go over here to the injury report on the Falcons side of things. Just Troy Anderson, linebackers out for them, and then a backup running back that gets no run anyway is listed as questionable. So we're not worried about that. Over here on the Bucs side of things, though, things are pretty interesting. So we got a starting tackle that is out. We have our starting defensive lineman in Elijah Cansey that has been out now for a few weeks. Jalen McMillan and Trey Palmer, a couple of backup wide receivers that are out. We know that doesn't really matter for this team because everything runs through Evans and Godwin, but we did see Trey Palmer get a touchdown catch last week. And then Antoine Winfield unable to make it back out there. Did get in a limited practice, which maybe bodes well for him for next game for this Bucs team, but limited and then ruled out. So no starting safety, no big time starting defensive tackle out there for them. Also missing an offensive lineman for them here in this game. That's it. You know, hey, look, did get Vita Vea back last week, and he was able to give it a full practice on Wednesday. So Vita Vea back out there for the Bucs this week. If we look what these teams do well and what they do poorly so far in the short season, Tampa Bay's offense actually 8th overall pass offense, EPA per play. Rush offense is actually 12th overall EPA per play. So the offense has actually been moving. Defense is about middle of the pack from a pass defense standpoint, but really bad when it comes to rush defense. Now, that also plays into Vita Vea being out for as long as he was, so it should be a little bit better with him back in there, but still missing Elijah Cansey, so he can't do it all. So Tampa's run defense, at least been a little bit suspect, should maybe be on the incline as opposed to the decline here with Vita Vea back out there. Same deal with Atlanta. So Atlanta's rush defense has been god-awful through the first half of the season. They have no excuses. It's not like they're missing one of their key guys out there. They're just their rush defense has just been absolutely putrid. Actually, rush defense success rate's dead last in the NFL so far right now is what they're being given up. So yeah, bad news there for the Falcons. So how are we going to try to take advantage of this? Let's head on over here to FanDuel, and we'll go to the player props. We'll go to the rushing props over here, and you can see. So the flip has already been made on the prop side of things. So Rachaad White, Bucky Irving. This is now you can see Bucky Irving basically getting the RB1 treatment. And the reason for that, if you kind of go in and you look at this game log here, you can see 9 carries, 7 carries, 9 carries, 10 carries. Everything seems to be him getting like a little bit of the more high leverage carries as well for this team. And it seems like the work for Rachaad White is just kind of starting to trickle down for this team. And so for me, I'm looking to play Bucky Irving. Now, do I want to play Bucky Irving on the yardage? Do I want to play Bucky Irving as the touchdown scorer? Do I want to play Bucky Irving, maybe even come down here to rush attempts? And you can see 9.5 right there, as you can see for Bucky Irving. The over is actually cheaper than the under. And, you know, we go back to this game log, and sure, I understand he's only gotten there once so far over the course of the season. That being said, if we believe that his workload is increasing, and also if we believe that this Falcons run defense is how you really go about exploiting this team, then I think Bucky Irving might be getting a little bit more work in this game. And so for me, couple of different Bucky, and you know, look, they're correlated, and hopefully both hit. Maybe we go 500 on this deal, but I'm playing Bucky Irving over on the rush attempts and then over on the yardage as well. Shop around as always. Maybe can find a better number out there for these things, but I think that's what I feel pretty comfortable going with. Let's see what his alt rush yards are. here just to make sure there's nothing we want to do better than that. Yeah, no, I mean, 40 plus is minus 154. We don't want to do that. I mean, if anything, I would take the plus money at 50 or more for Bucky Irving. So we're going to go with, hey, this Bucs team realizes that he's better than Rachaad White at this point. It seems like he's starting to get more carries as it is anyway. And if you want to attack this Atlanta team, very easy to do it on the ground. This defensive line has done absolutely nothing so far. So really do like that a ton from Bucky Irving's standpoint. The other one is if we, like I said, Vita Vea can't do it all. We have to ask ourselves, how much is there real separation between Bijan and Tyler Algier? What we saw, if you go to this Saints game from last week for this Falcons squad, you can see, we come down here, Algier and Bijan Robinson, you can see, and I mean, this was a game that was close, and Algier actually out-carried Bijan in this game. And so certainly Bijan is the starter, but he did get out-carried by Algier. And so I kind of think that we're probably at more of a 60-40 split than we want it to be, especially out there in fantasy. If you drafted Bijan Robinson super high in the draft, you certainly probably don't want this thing to be as 60-40 as it probably is. But I think we're probably more at the 60-40 deal. And if we are, then we got to play Tyler Algier as well. So I think running all of those out there are good plays for us today. Of course, as we say always, shop around. Maybe you can find a better number on Algier if you want to play the over on that thing. Maybe I think I saw a 33.5 out there in the market as well. But we're going to go with the workload increasing for both of these guys, and so that's kind of the way we're going to play this game. I did play a little bit on the Falcons at 1.5. I have these teams power rated very similarly. I have the Falcons just slightly ahead of the Bucs, but then you put in the injury situation with no Winfield, you put in the injury situation with no Clancy, and you put in an injury situation with missing a starting lineman as well to go with all this. So it kind of puts the Falcons as the play for me, just strictly from a power rating standpoint, but not one that I'm jumping up and down about this week. These short week games are always a little wonky and certainly can get a little crazy. So I did put in the 1.5, but again, nothing I'm jumping up and down about. I like those props a lot better. Easier for these run games to adjust on a short week than it is for anything else. So that's where I'm at with this one, guys. A little bit of play on the Falcons, like that the Bucky Irving stuff and the Tyler Algier stuff here in this game. The only thing I will say about this, a lot of money coming in on the under. Again, we talk about these short week games. I think people are factoring in the ground game as well. There's a lot of things pointing towards that. I would have played it at 44 being a pretty key-ish number there from a total standpoint. If it happens to get back up to 44, that would be something that you could look at as well on the underside of the total. And the only other deal, too, is just Chris Godwin has been getting all the love here. And you can see he's even got higher yardage stuff than Mike Evans does this week. It's really more with Godwin about the receptions, though. 5.5 got bet up to 6.5. Now 6.5 sitting there at plus money. If you're putting together a same game parlay, I mean 6.5 is a lot. So it means like 7. Obviously, you got to get 7 catches. But maybe if you're putting together a same game parlay and you want to throw that in there from a reception standpoint, I don't know if you necessarily need to do the yardage because Godwin catches all kinds of passes, runs all kind of routes, and so he could be one of those weird cases where he gets 7 catches and it only goes for 60 yards. So I would probably, especially at plus money, gravitate more towards that with him than I would the yardage standpoint. But again, that would be like more of a same game parlay stuff. I don't see a ton of edge there in that one. Guys, over at the lines, everything we do, absolutely free. So go in, take in all of the great stuff that we got going on over here for absolutely free. Upper right-hand corner, you can see that's the Discord. That is also absolutely free. And we're in there talking sports all day long, all the different sports. And so go in, talk to your fellow sports bettors and see if maybe you can get some insight in there for something else that you want to put in your account this week. As always, guys, good luck on all your Thursday Night Football bets.